Hello, this is Gavin, otherwise known as the Tzeentch Commander. Today we've got a rematch between the Chaos Space Marines and the Orks. Bit of a different story this time. Instead of a more infantry-based list, we have both brought lists that are a bit more mechanized. So there's not as much on the table, but everything that's on the table has heavier armor, heavier weapons, heavier everything. Bit excited to see how this game goes because I haven't done a full-fledged mechanized list in a long time. And we'll get started with the battle. Alright, as you can see here, based off of our deployment zones, this is going to be a pretty simple battle. The objectives for this battle are, once again, very simple. 5 victory points for each objective in No Man's Land, so these two right here. 2 victory points for your own, and 8 victory points for your opponents. As you can see, ties here. And the way this is going to work is, it's basically a capture and hold, kind of like what we did in our tutorial video. Alright, so the very first tactic takes place in the command phase for the Chaos Space Marines. Whenever possible, if you have Warpsmiths, which are these guys right here, if you have them on the table, try and always keep them close to a vehicle. Warpsmiths get lone operative when they're next to a vehicle, making it so they cannot be shot unless the opponent is within 12 inches. And on top of that, their repairability also doubles as a way to make vehicles be able to hit better by also giving them a +1 to hit. The next tactic for the video is for the Chaos Space Marines, and this focuses on the Obliterators. They have an ability they can use once per battle called Warp Rift Firepower. This allows them to get indirect fire with their ranged weapons. This is something I recommend using very sparingly, as they can make a 4-up ballistic skill, which is not great. Because as you can see here, I used it on these guys, because their view of the battle wagon here is blocked by this rock. So, while they ultimately did miss, they could still at least hit him. This next tactic goes to the Chaos Space Marines again. I do apologize if there's a lot of tactics in this one for Chaos Space Marines, because the Ty has not been rolling very well today. He's been doing pretty bad. But this next tactic is that while the Obliterators are meant to be ranged, do not underestimate their melee power. Their melee weapons, Crushing Fists, have a high of strength, a high AP, high damage, high everything. They're surprisingly great in melee. Alright, this next tactic is a general purpose tactic. I have gone over it in the first video. The first actual tactics video. But I didn't go over it very well. If a vehicle is locked in close combat, then other units that are outside of close combat, such as these guys right here, though they will not be shooting due to a secondary that Ty has, can shoot into close combat at said enemy vehicle. This takes place for both vehicles and monsters. This sorry, I already can't speak. This next tactic is finally for the Orks. Do keep their detachment rule in mind. For it gives them a sustained hits 1 on all their melee weapons, no matter what. On top of that, when using Storm Boys, use them to claim fast objectives and kill light infantry. There was a Warpsmith there, and he didn't even get a chance to fight back. So this next tactic is actually going to be for the Orks. Ty, if you want to show them the Big Mek real quick. This is a Big Mek and Mega Armour. If you are looking to make an extremely durable unit, use this guy. and pair him with Mega Knobs. Ty did not do it this game as he did not have the points to do so. But this guy can bring back Mega Knobs, and as you can see here, he also has a custom force field, which gives him and every unit he's attached to, a 4-up invuln.
Please ignore the poor craftsmanship.
On top of that, he also gave him a super Cybork Body enhancement, which gives him a 4-up Feel No Pain. Basically, this guy is the Durable Supreme. Obviously, he's a little dead right now, so it doesn't look like it, but he got mauled by this guy, so it's in the name, Maulerfiend. Alright, the final tactic for this video, because this is one we actually know will be the final tactic, is for the Chaos Space Marines, for this guy right here, the Defiler. Everyone says to use him as a melee piece, because those iron claws are not just for show, they hurt really badly. However, I have come to the determination with this that Defi is actually better used as an artillery piece. Defi has a lot of long-range weaponry that does a lot of damage. The entire game, Defi spent it almost entirely in the backfield, just picking guys off, like, what, 3x3?
A lot of them died.
Yeah, so my tactic for this, if you're using Defi, use him as an artillery piece, not a melee monster. Alright, in this great battle of the mechs, the winner ended up being the Warpsmith over the Big Mek and Mega Armour. Just ended up that Chaos Space Marine had the better mechs. So I apologize that there weren't really almost any Orc tactics in this one, because
he won by a lot.
Not as much as previous things. You actually kept up a pretty good pace this time around. But doesn't matter how good your models are. If you're getting bad rolls like he was getting today, then
consistent 1s and 2s.
Very consistent. It's pretty bad.
It was not pretty.
That meme I posted on Twitter, that ended up being pretty accurate. I wasn't expecting that. So yep, that's all we've got for today, and hope you guys all have a good night.